I, 32F, am a planner. My boyfriend of 5 years, Leo, 33M, is the opposite. He's a charming, handsome chaos agent. We've always kept separate apartments, which was for the best. My place was our sanctuary. While his was a disaster zone, I was constantly, quietly managing from a distance. For years, I was the silent software running in the background of his life, debugging all the errors before they could crash his system. The breaking point came last Tuesday. Leo got a huge promotion at his architecture firm. The final presentation was a massive deal, and for the last month, I'd been his unpaid project manager. I organized his research, formatted his slides, and soothed the key client he'd accidentally offended. He got the promotion. We went to a celebratory dinner with his family. Leo, soaking in the praise, raised his glass and said, "Well, what can I say? Some of us are just built for success. I'm flawless." He then winked at me. "Qley knows. She's lucky to have me." Something inside me didn't just snap. It turned to ice. I smiled, a tight, brittle thing. "You're right. I am." That night, I opened my laptop and started to type. Title: The Flawless System. Maintenance log. Asterisk paid your overdue car registration online June. You couldn't find the website. Asterisk rescheduled your missed dental appointment July. Provided excuse about a family emergency. Asterisk found your stolen passport in your laundry basket 2 days before our international trip, August. And on it went, all the way to number 47. 47 restructured, wrote, and designed the 82-slide presentation that secured your promotion, October. The next evening, he came over to my apartment, still floating on air. "When you execute perfectly, you should get a perfect reward," he said, draping himself over my couch. "You really are amazing," I said, my voice eerily calm. I handed him the 3 printed pages. He chuckled. "What's this?" "A list of my virtues." He read the first page, his smile faltering. He read the second, and the smile was gone. By the time he got to number 47, his face was pale. The silence was deafening. "This is a joke, right?" he finally stammered. "No," I said, opening my front door. "I'm done. My management services are officially terminated. I think it's time for you to go." I left him standing there with a list, and for the first time in 5 years, I didn't care if he crashed. Update 1, 2 weeks later. The silence lasted for 72 hours. Then the text started. They weren't apologetic. They were annoyed. "Leo, hey, the power went out of my place. Did you forget to pay the bill?" "Me, it's your bill, Leo. I terminated my management services, remember?" "Leo, can you just call them? You know how to navigate their stupid phone menu." I didn't reply. The late fee was his problem now. The first real dirty trick came last Wednesday. I got a notification for a password change request on my personal cloud storage account. This is where I keep my personal projects, and foolishly, the source files for all the work I'd ever helped Leo with. He texted me a minute later. "Leo, I need the files for the Q2 client pitch. The old one. My boss wants to see the original framework. It's on your drive." "Me? No, Leo. My research is on my drive. Your final pitch is on your computer. Use that." "Leo, this is ridiculous. That was our work. You're trying to sabotage me." It was a test. He genuinely believed that my work, my time, and my energy were a shared resource he was entitled to. He wasn't sorry. He was just inconvenienced. The grim determination I was feeling started to solidify. This wasn't just a breakup. This was a necessary extraction. Update 2, 2 months later. Things escalated. Leo's flawless execution at work turned out to be entirely dependent on my ghostwriting. Without me, his performance nosedived. He was assigned to lead the Dalton project, a new client he got post-promotion. He bungled it. He missed deadlines, and, according to a former colleague, his presentation to the client was a disorganized mess. The Dalton project was pulled from him. He was demoted back to his old position with a formal warning. This is when his mother, Diana, and sister, Clara, showed up at my apartment. Unannounced. "I want to understand what could possibly make you do this to my son," Diana began, her voice dripping with accusation. "To humiliate him. To destroy his career out of jealousy," Clara added, standing beside her like a soldier. He's a big-picture artist, not some secretary. I didn't do anything, I said calmly. I stopped doing things. And I didn't humiliate him. I think you're both confusing my work for his. Diana scoffed. Your work? Don't be absurd. He was brilliant long before you. Was he? I asked. I wouldn't have done this, but they were standing in my home, calling me a saboteur. Was it his brilliance that saved the Henderson account last year, after his initial call went badly? Or was it me, writing the follow-up proposal? Was it his brilliance that got him this promotion? Or was it the 82-slide presentation I wrote and designed while he was playing video games? They stared, speechless and furious. They grabbed their purses and stormed out. The revenge, it turns out, was served by them. Diana, in a rage, called Leo's managing partner to complain about the vicious lies his unstable ex-girlfriend was spreading. To prove how brilliant Leo was, she recounted my examples as things he had accomplished. The partner was silent for a moment, then said, "That's interesting, Diana, because Leo's own project file for the Henderson account was a mess. The polished version just seemed to appear out of nowhere. Thank you for clarifying how. They had intended to clear his name. Instead, they signed a confession on his behalf. The company launched a quiet internal review. Leo was no longer just an underperformer. He was a fraud. Final update, 6 months later. It's over. The final domino fell about a month ago. Leo was let go from his job. The professional embarrassment was too much to recover from. Without my income subsidizing his lifestyle, and with no job, he couldn't afford his apartment. He moved back in with his parents. From what I've heard, Diana and Clara are finding that their big-picture artist leaves a trail of chaos that is much less charming when you're the one cleaning it up. Leo has never once apologized. His narrative remains the same. I'm a vindictive ex who couldn't handle his success. He sent one last text from a number I hadn't blocked yet. Are you happy now? You ruined me. 6 months ago, that might have gutted me. Now, it felt like a message from a stranger. I didn't ruin him. I just stopped saving him. His arrogance and his family's blind defense of it did the rest. I didn't reply. I just blocked the number. The past 6 months have been a strange mix of grief and relief. But the relief is winning. My life is my own again. The constant, low-grade anxiety of managing another person's life is gone. My apartment is tidy. I've been painting again, something I gave up because I was always too busy helping. It wasn't a loud, explosive revenge. It was simply letting go. I let him, and his enablers, crash into the wall of consequences they had built all by themselves. He wanted to be flawless. In the end, he got to experience the flawless, unfiltered results of his own choices. And that is a more real justice than I could have ever planned.